are joined this morning, again, thank you for joining us this early, the Talent Night at Auschwitz and Worthy Man, 2 composers, and then just you.
A regular
Just a director.
Just a director.
Sure. I'm Max Rifkind Barron. I'm the writer and director of Talent Night at Auschwitz, Bunk 5.
I'm Teddy Pohl. I'm the composer of Talent Night.
And I'm the composer of Worthy Man.
Right. If you guys just want to say where you're coming from.
And I'm from Denmark.
I'm from New York.
Same.
I should probably add, so the whole team, it's a Danish film and it's subtitled, but I was the only one making it across. Well, I was already here I was in LA, and then I could just take the bus to Palm Springs.
Yeah.
How cool is that?
Very cool.
There you go. And now you get to be here
And now
at
I'm on the
ShortShots with those great gentlemen.
Took the bus from LA and now I'm on a couch.
Between 2 ferns,
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
isn't it? And
Better
on a
host.
fake cat, on a prop cat.
Yeah.
Sitting on the cat.
There we go.
So-
You can be a music composer now. There you go.
It's early.
Yeah.
When did you guys all get here?
We got here on Tuesday. Yeah,
Okay.
quick.
Yeah, I came Wednesday, yesterday.
Perfect. If you guys want to try to describe the film, quick sum up, 5 seconds.
Absolutely. My film's about a very talented 14-year-old who...
5 seconds.
It's about a talented 14-year-old who endures a really horrible trauma and in order to cope with it, writes a musical about the Holocaust.
Our movie is about a lonely man who's working at night in his bakery, and then... So it's about loneliness and how he's coping and trying to get acknowledgement from his family, and
Yeah. I
Yeah.
guess,
Sounds funny.
that's
sounds fun. Well, but it's interesting because how can you portray loneliness? I mean, that's like, you need dynamic, you need a character with a goal, but if they are lonely, they can't have a goal with other people, really. It's like, so he's talking with the local night radio, and sort of, but that becomes a one-way communication, obviously, because it's a radio, basically just brought to him, so.
Great. So Talent Night is a bit, obviously, like, it's a little bit crazy.
Totally, yeah, it's surreal.
Out of lack of word, I guess surreal is pretty good.
Surreal, and you know, the title is designed to be controversial. In a weird way, the title's the most controversial part of the movie.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's actually kind of addressed in the movie, the main character in the movie is constantly aware of the fact that what he's doing is controversial. And so, I don't know, it's this weird kind of self-reflexive thing.
Yeah, it's like controversy inside a controversy inside a controversy.
Yeah. And just trying to defend myself, basically, I guess. Let the characters in the movie defend me, which is nice.
But in terms of music, how wild were you able to go?
Oh, so I mean, from early on, we had we worked with the text in a room, the two of us, like I would imagine Rodgers and Hammerstein worked, and we sort of tried to share try to bridge our 2 languages to sort of match what we wanted about this character. I mean, I at first was really sort of anxious to write the piece until Max pointed out to me that I'm not writing the piece, the character is writing the piece because it's the character's musical. So I sort of, it was an interesting way to get inside someone else's subjectivity and sort of freed me up to be able to do this sort of cornier sort of music theory-er thing, since I come mainly from the classical side, which is very abstract and very, sort of formalist.
Jasper, you want to touch a little bit on how you approach composing for the film, since you talked about loneliness, so music is very good, like it's definitely a helpful tool in building that atmosphere.
It is, but it's also, I've worked with Christian Hoskjold, who's the director. A lot of times he's like one of my oldest friends and collaborators in films, and he had worked with a temp when I got a cut. I think I was too busy to really do a pre-production type of composing, although I've done that on other movies of his. But he had put this quite epic or like very emotional and soaring strings, and we were trying that out. But it's like, it's not very you don't give the audience in that situation. It's like it's in a way it's a very quiet movie because we want to reflect on that loneliness. And I think I did 3-4 scores before I kind of came up with a concept that we should do 12-tone music, which is music from the 1920s. It was classical musicians deciding we're gonna make music that's not been heard before. Like they were tired of all the historical music, and then they were like, we're gonna make, they were like, we're gonna use all the keys, and the truth is that it wasn't that successful. Like, and it's, for me, it's very hard to listen to because it doesn't have a root. Like pop music, it always pulls you to some specific point. But this 12-tone music, it's sort of like a continuous row of just notes. And that spoke to me, like that idea of he's sort of without aim, he's lonely, he doesn't have a root in anything. And the weird thing was that then I used that music theory and built 12-tone rows and started to build 12-tone music. And it really was like, this is so weird, this is not giving me anything. Is he sad or is he happy? Because the music doesn't have that quality. And then of course I had to put it into a modern context, and you start developing it around the picture. So I think that was a really interesting process how, and I get Christian's trust when I'm like, but again, it's like when I had made the music and we put it on, I was like, hey, that works. And it's like, surprise for me even.